Every story has a beginning, but some begin with an ending. A young rapper, a quiet street in Ohio, and a song that refused to stay just music. This is the story of Trey Sean Smith. Trey Sean was only 20 years old, but he carried himself like someone who knew time was short. Music wasn't a dream, it was survival. His lyrics came from real streets, real tension, real life. When he performed, when he filmed his videos, he wasn't acting. He was documenting who he was. To his fans, Trey Sean was rising. To others, he was being watched. It started with a music video, posted online, shared in group chats, replayed again and again. Some saw creativity, others saw disrespect. Investigators would later say the video was taken personally by a rival group as a direct challenge. In the world Trey Sean lived in, perception mattered more than intent. And once a line is crossed, there is no rewind button. On an October night in Ohio, Trey Sean stood with friends near a public fountain. Nothing unusual, no signs of danger. Then, gunshots. The moment lasted seconds, the impact lasted forever. TreShawn Smith was struck multiple times. By the time the sound faded, his voice was gone. A rapper silenced before his story was finished. The streets filled with questions. Who did this? Why here? Why now? Rumors flooded social media, but answers were hard to find. Detectives traced movements, messages, connections. Every path led back to the same spark, that music video. A digital moment that spilled into real blood. But the suspect was gone. Days turned into months. Months turned into years. For Trey Sean's family, time didn't heal, it stretched the pain. Every birthday, every anniversary, every song left behind. The case stayed open, waiting. Then, years later, hundreds of miles away, Georgia, an arrest. A man investigators believed had pulled the trigger was taken into custody, extradited back to Ohio, charged with murder. The past finally caught up with the present, but arrests don't erase loss. They don't bring back unfinished verses. They don't replace a son, a friend, a voice. Trey Sean Smith didn't live long enough to see where his music could take him. But his story stands as a warning. Because when music becomes a message and ego becomes fuel, sometimes the loudest sound is not the song, but the silence it leaves behind.